All right. Good morning, everyone. Yes Education is delighted to have you all here today for this webinar training from Auckland University of Technology. Before we begin the webinar, let me introduce you a little bit. My name is Hương from Yes Education, based in Vietnam. And joining me today is Mr. Herb, the representative of AUT. The content of today's webinar will include highlights or key points of AUT, application process, scholarships or study programs, and student support policy and other related things. During the webinar, if you have any questions, please leave them in the Q&A section. And now I would like to invite Mr. Herb to start the training.
Thanks. Good Good morning, everyone. So I'll just share my screen. Um, uh, with sounds. Okay. You guys can see my screen now.
Yes.
Okay. I'm actually sitting in a coffee shop at the moment. And sorry for the background noises if there is any. So I have to put the mic really close to my mouth. But yeah, anyways, AUT, New Zealand. Um, I mean, for you guys know that New Zealand has been a very popular destination for international students recently, especially for students from Myanmar. Just the fact that the UK has put an emergency stop in the Burmese market. We've actually been receiving quite a lot of Myanmar students for the past 3 years. Um, and apparently we have around almost 300 students from Myanmar in at AUT at the moment. And then we've been doing really well in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand. Cambodians numbers has been up by 300% for the past year. And Laos students as well. Like we've been receiving quite a number of students from Laos going on a Monarchy scholarship scheme to AUT. So and Vietnam's been amazing. I've met my target for Vietnam for the whole year already, and then we still have the second semester and the V3 semester. Just to show how popular AUT is. But now going to brief to you a bit about New Zealand. If you don't know already, New Zealand, the size of New Zealand is similar to Japan or the UK, but we only have 5 million people. And it's actually one of the safest and friendliest country in the world to study and to live in. So it's constantly been rated in the Auckland has been constantly rated in the top 10 most livable city in the world. So we are in Auckland, and New Zealand have a beautiful landscape, beautiful beaches, beautiful mountains. You can see snow-topped mountains there that you can go hiking. Lots of our students do during their holiday. And at AUT, it's all about the learning philosophy. So we have two different parts of the name. The first one is Auckland, so I'll just go to Auckland first. As we are located in the heart of Auckland, right in the Auckland CBD. And it's an economic powerhouse of New Zealand. All of when New Zealand doing trades with the rest of the world is happening in Auckland. Lots of companies, businesses, institutions, they are based in Auckland, headquarters in Auckland. And when you study in Auckland, it's not about living in a big city. It's about having a lot of opportunities while you're there. So it's not just about studying, but about the opportunities to work part-time, to work full-time after you graduate, to make connections with industry partners, and to learn about the environments that it operates in. So imagine why people living in big cities like, Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh, Bangkok, Phnom Penh, why do they go there, right? So there's a lot of advantages of being studying and living in the big cities. We have three campuses in Auckland. The main campus will be in the middle, which is a city campus, right in the Auckland CBD. So we have around like 22, 23 big buildings in that city campus. And then we have the North Campus, which is about 10 minutes drive from the city center. It's the home to the School of Educations and the School of Health Sciences. And then we have the South Campus. Also, some education courses are here, but main campus will be in the city. Okay, so let's talk about learning philosophy and why Auckland University of Technology. So the term University of Technology, it doesn't mean that we only teach technology. We actually have multiple courses, over 250 different programs to offer. But the terms University of Technology, it means that we are a practical focused university. Okay, so we've started changing our branding with a new tagline called Knowledge That Works. So if you go to the website of AUT, you'll see Knowledge That Works. So it actually describes what we do. Okay. So what does it mean by knowledge that works? We don't just, most university, they teach you how to think. We teach you how to do. All right. So at AUT, your studies connect with the learning with the real world experiences. The degrees, including hands-on projects, workplace experience, internships, and you learn the skills that the employers want. So when we're designing the program, we discuss with our industry partners, with the employers to see what do they like, what do they want to see with the graduates going to the workforce. So for example, our students don't just study marketing campaigns from some big companies, they actually create a marketing campaign from real brief. So instead of asking students to analyzing a marketing campaign from Coca-Cola or IBM, we actually bring in a company, a real world company, to see our student. And then they have a new product. They talk about the products, different features, and then our student actually have to do a marketing campaign for that particular product. So they have to go to the market, right, do market research, looking at competitors analysis, looking at industry potentials, but looking at where the customer goes, what the consumer behavior is like, and then collecting raw data, analyzing those, and giving marketing recommendations. So instead of just analyzing and studying someone else's campaign, they actually have to create a campaign for yourself. They don't just learn about software development, they're actually creating applications that can be used tomorrow. Okay, they don't just read about health science challenges. They work with real patients in a real clinical settings. So how practical learning works, right, at AUT. 89% of our bachelor degrees require our students to do an internship at the end of their studies. And then, your lectures haven't actually retired from the world. So why are they teaching at AUT? They also still own businesses. They still treat patients. They still do consultations for the industry. So they bring their own experiences to share with the students when they teach. So, and then we not pretending AI doesn't exist, right? We teaching you how to use AI, how to work with AI, and how to apply AI into the field to solve the world problem and challenges that you study. Okay. So for doing that, we have exceptional facilities. So we've been investing a lot of money into new facility, new buildings that can help you achieve that practical knowledge. So while you're studying with us, it's not just about books. You actually have to put your hands on different equipments that you have to use in the future. So whether you're doing engineering, computer sciences, doing screen production, communications, film productions, or doing businesses, or doing sciences, right? You got your hands on that, industry equipments that we've been able to help our students to have hands on. Very, very important. So, so that the main thing about AUT, right? All about helping you getting the skills that employer wants. And then we have other services like the Employability Lab, which is helping you create a career advantage, while you're studying with us. So we work directly with our industry partners to ensure that you get that practical workplace experiences. We have our specialist teams that works in that employability lab that can help you with one-to-one support at the end of your study when you're finding a job. We also have the career fairs, which attract almost 300 employers to come in to recruit our students, right? And then we also have a wide range of programs of employer presentations, events, and workshops throughout the year. We also have that 4 graduate job boards that you can, including international career options. So even if you want to work or doing some internships overseas, you can find that in that graduate job boards. You can also access that eLab online where, employers post jobs that they only want graduates. They don't want the one that already have the experience. They want fresh graduates. So that's kind of, you go there for a very non-competitive with others people. Okay. So here is just some of the companies that we work with, and we have sent our students to do the internship with. Okay. And I mean, I do have a long list of visas, post-study work visas and stuff, but I'm sure that Yes Education have been able to support you with this. Just a brief update, on the post-study work visa. If you do 1 year master and longer, you get 3 years post-study work visa. And then for any degree under master or under level 9, the length of your student visa, length of the post-study work visa will be the same length as the course that you study in New Zealand. And then to migrate into New Zealand, we have the updated SMC, which is a skilled migrant category, going into effective in August 2026, which creates a really, really advantage for students to study in New Zealand, and if they want to stay and migrate into New Zealand. If you want to learn more, probably ask me at the end of the presentation. Okay, so this is the Knowledge That Works videos, those quick short videos just to briefly refreshing about AUT branding. I hope you enjoy that video.
If you're looking for a typical university, Auckland University of Technology is where talent, opportunity, bold ideas and new ways of thinking collide. A rich, diverse, hands-on learning environment that plugs you into the real world, ensuring you're work ready by giving you knowledge that works. Here, you come first. Our values play a big part in that, as does our commitment to every student's success. And if you need even more reasons to join us, how does being part of one of the world's most contemporary universities sound? It doesn't matter if you come from here, or here, or here. Our doors are wide open. AUT, knowledge that works.
Yeah, so from that video, you can see the young, energetic descriptions of what AUT is, and the new branding and the new directions that we will be going through for the next 5 to 10 years. So as I mentioned, AUT offers more than 250 different programs across 5 faculties, 16 different schools. So on the screen right now, you can see the 16 different schools that we have, from architecture to arts and design, business, engineering, health sciences, education, social policy, basically anything that you are interested in, we do have the program for you. And it's going to take me about 2 hours to go through these individuals, schools and programs. So I'm just going to quickly go through the popular program. Firstly, I'll just go to the engineering program. So our Bachelor of Engineering degree is recognized by the Washington Accord. and it's accredited by also the Engineering Board of New Zealand. So once you complete the Bachelor of Engineering, you can register as an engineer with the Engineering Board, and in New Zealand and also in Australia. And also you can registration as an engineer in the 23 members of the Washington Accord. And to make sure that your learning is relevant to the future career of being an engineer, we have, great facilities, industry standard equipment. We have the 3D fitting labs, a scanning electron microscope for electrical engineering. We have structured testing lab, seismic shake tables to simulate earthquake. And then in the second year and third year, you have the 800 hours of practical experiences that are required in order to graduate. So it's going to help you stand out, from other universities. And you can see here that our student making drones, they making robots, they making cars and carts and many different things. And for students who do the constructions or civil engineering architectures, the buildings really help. So I'm just going to share, this is the School of Engineering building, where it's just showcasing how great we are, the facilities that we offer to our students and the equipment that students can use while studying at AUT.
AUT's new Engineering, Computer and Mathematical Sciences building has been designed and constructed to reflect the evolution of teaching and learning in tertiary education. Learning is no longer restricted to classrooms. It is just as likely to happen in a virtual space as a physical one. Students want more collaborative experiences, and this state-of-the-art building offers flexibility, adaptability and minimises sole use spaces. The building is itself an educational tool. Lessons are brought to life by showcasing how theory from the classroom has been included in the building design. Surfaces and ceilings have been left exposed, and plant rooms have glazed walls so students can see the inner workings of the building. The building management system has been made available for students and staff to test and collect data from. Structure testing labs and a seismic shake table have been installed and will help with AUT's world-class research in these areas. The co-location of engineering, computer and mathematical sciences allows the school to foster unique synergies and encourage innovative ideas and research. The building brings together these disciplines in top-tier programs, a first for a New Zealand university.
Okay, so with the master program, we have the Master of Construction Management, which only takes 1 year. So these are for student who works in constructions and civil engineer for about 5 to 10 years with some managerial or project management experiences. The Master of Engineering Project Management also designed for mechanical and electrical engineers who have work experiences for a long time. Now, if you don't have work experiences, you have to do the Master of Engineering, which is take 1 to 1.5 years, depending on the countries where you're from. We also have a new program updated this year called the Master of Architectural Design Management. It's also 1 year specifically designed for the architects. Let's come to the Computer and Information Sciences. They are probably one of the most popular program at AUT. So we probably offer one of the best computer science program in New Zealand, accredited by IITP, Institute of IT Professionals in New Zealand. We have high-tech lab, and with the Bachelor of Computer Science, you can study about artificial intelligence, data science, cybersecurity, and software development. And you're allowed to mix it with some others degree. So, for example, if you into data science, you can do computer science, a Bachelor of Computer Science, majoring in data science, and then you can do some finance courses to create like a fintech degree, or you can do data science with some business management, so becoming more of a business analytics. or you can do, some computer sciences and some health science program, where it kind of using that computer science to help with the data or with the health management system, for example. Okay, so it allows you to mix and match different degrees together. I think at AUT, we are the only one who do that. You're probably more interested into the master program. We have the Master of IT Project Management. Again, this requires students to have 5 to 10 years of work experiences in IT. We have the Master of Analytics, Master of Computer Sciences, Cybersecurity and Digital Forensic, which is very difficult program to get in. But again, like the jobs outlook is amazing. Like it's in a shortage list of every single country in the world right now. So easier for you to get a job. So we have a law degree as well, arts and design. I'm just going to skip through. We don't have a lots of inquiries on these programs across the region. We have communication studies, creative technology, and business. Okay, so the business program is our second most popular program, apart from the computer science. So we are in the top 5% business school around the world. And our programs are designed with business leaders. And again, like when you study business at AUT, it's not just about you studying from the professor. You study from the real world people where they still own businesses. They run their own businesses. They have still working as a consultations, in the business field, and they can give an actual examples of what it's like in the business real. So rather just, reading the textbook, doing research, writing essays, you actually learn from the real people with the real experiences. And then at the end of the bachelor degree, you have 6 months of internships. This is a compulsory for all of the students. You actually have an options of whether to do a thesis or to go for an internship. Now, for students who wanted to progress to a thesis master and then doing a PhD later on, then they normally do the thesis options. But most of our students choose the internship options where they wanted to go to work straight after finishing their degree. And normally, if you want to stay in New Zealand, that internship company is the one that you stay after you graduate. Then we have a master program. Looking at the middle column, we have what we call a professional masters. So all of these programs will be accredited by a professional bodies. So the Master of Applied Finance curriculum is actually based on the candidate body of knowledge from the CFA program. And this degree will position you well to obtain the CFA license, which is a Chartered Financial Analyst designations after you graduate. The Master of Professional Accounting also accredited and prepare you to be the membership of the ACCA, CAA&Z, CPA Australia, or CIMA. One of our most popular programs for the professional master will be the Master of Supply Chain Management, which is it's partnered with the Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, which is a CIPS to accredit our master. So once you graduated the master program, then you are able to gain that licensing. I mean, if for you who live in Singapore and Hong Kong, this CIPS license are very, very important in that supply chain and logistic field. Okay. Then we have hospitality and tourism. We have a wide range of Bachelor of Arts degree. We have an educations, whether you can do teaching, which is very popular nowadays, where it leads to registration as a teachers, and also it's in high demand, so it leads to residency in New Zealand. So we have both the early childhood, primary and secondary teaching. The bachelor program, including 25 weeks of teaching practicum. The master program is only 1 year. It's including 16 weeks of teaching practicum. All of our degrees, master or bachelor's, it's accredited by the New Zealand Teaching Council, and it leads you to register as a teachers with the Teaching Council of Aotearoa New Zealand. And once you graduate, and register as a teacher, you gain an extra years of post-study work visa. So normally master's students get only 3 years post-study work visa, but when you register with the Teaching Council of New Zealand, you gain another year. So you'll have 4 years post-study work visa to stay in New Zealand. We have a wide range of Bachelor of Science degree, medical laboratory science, sports and recreation, and health science, both including clinical and non-clinical degree. Lots of students coming in for nursing, occupational therapy, physiotherapy programs. So if you have a student who is interested in these programs, please let me know. I'll go into details of what that is, but basically the clinical program will have 1,200 hours of pre-clinical supervised work experiences. And we are the largest education providers in New Zealand for healthcare. And also we are in the top 100 in the world for health science subjects. So studying health science at AUT leads you to registrations as well. Whether you do like OT, PT, nurses, paramedics, oral health, it does lead to registrations. Okay. So that's a lot of program for you to remember. I honestly, I don't expect you to remember all of this. But when you do have a student inquiries, and then you feel free to ask a Yes Education, just list out the questions, and then Yes Education can come and we can give you details, information about the individual programs that you're interested in. So we have lots of supporting services. Once student arrive in New Zealand, everything that they goes to Student Hub, whether they missing their home or they want to open a bank account or whatever problem they have, go to Student Hub, they help. We have on-campus accommodations, very relatively new, right in the CBD, you can see here, just across the school. Okay, so scholarships. You're probably interested in scholarships scheme or scholarships policy differs every intake. So right now, what I share is the scholarships for July 2026 intake only. Okay, so it do not apply for next year or 2027 intake. So we have basically it's 5,000 for undergraduates, 7,000 New Zealand dollars for the postgraduates. All of these, you need to create an application once you receive an offer. So you need to get an offer letter from AUT first before you can apply for the scholarships. Okay. And then with the scholarships, it's applying for the first year only. Okay. So when you do a bachelor degree for 3 years, the scholarships only applying for the first year. Okay. Now, and then this year we have the accommodation scholarships as well, which is 50% of the accommodation fees for the second semester. It's only applying for July 2026. Entry requirements, we need IB 24, A levels, 3 passes A2, including a C grade. It's that very standard, but it doesn't guarantee your place into our program. For students from Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia, you need to complete 1 year of bachelor degree in your country in order to get into the first year. If you're unable to do that, you can study a foundation with Up Education. You probably work with Up Education as well. So go there to 6 months, 8 months to 12 months, depending on your grades, depending on your IELTS level as well. You have to do a foundation. Okay. And then for the postgraduate master, you need a bachelor degree with a B grade average. Okay. And for IELTS, basically bachelor degree, you require IELTS 6.0, no band below 5.5. And for masters, you need a IELTS 6.5, no bands below 6. And then for some of the registration programs, like the teaching program, you need IELTS 7 all bands or equivalents. And for the health science program, you need IELTS 7, no bands below 6.5 for all of the program. Okay, the fees for AUT ranging from 34,000 to 47,000 New Zealand dollars a year for the undergrads, and 36,000 to 50,000 a year for the postgrads. Okay, if you have an application sent in early, normally it takes us about 2 weeks to process. Submit all of the documents to Yes Education, and Yes Education will help you applying for AUT. Please do not apply directly to AUT, because that student will be recorded as direct student and we will not be able to pay commission to Yes Education. So please send your applications to Yes, and Yes Education will, on your behalf, submit your applications to AUT, and it's easier to manage that way. Okay. I honestly don't suggest you to send me an emails or inquiry directly. Please, everything goes to Yes Education before going to me. That'll be one-way communications, that just to make sure that everything goes smoothly. I'll now just give it back to Yes Education, Sương, and probably open to Q&A.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Herb, so much for sharing a lot of information about AUT. So I believe that after the webinar, our agents will have more options when advising students on choosing New Zealand, especially Auckland, as their study destination. And now for the Q&A section, I will read the questions out loud so that everyone can hear and get more information. The first one, I see that someone asking, I have a student asking PhD program of AUT. So can you tell me more how to register?
Okay, PhD, right? I'll share a different screen. So if you go to our websites, okay, and just click on the search box here, search for PhD. So again, all of the documents go through Yes Education. And the application process, you click on the application process, you can see that you submit all of the documents at least 3 months before you wanted to start. Then the graduate research school will assess your ability and send it to the relevant faculty. Once the faculty finds a resources, it's a professors, also it's whether we have fundings for that project, whether we have facilities to help you with, then the professor will connect with you directly, and then you start writing the PGR2, which is the a research proposal. And then once the research proposal is signed off by the faculty, then we will send you an offer place. Now, what do we require? What documents do we want, right? The faculty and the fields that you're interested in, your academic transcript, both for master's and the bachelor degree, grading scales, the degree certificate, both undergrad and postgrad. These are important, right? So we want the title of your thesis. What is the topic that you want to research in? We want you outlining 2-page maximum the research proposal, just an outline first. Sending in your CVs and your IELTS. Right? Submit all of these documents. If you're missing one of those, we'll not be able to access. You need to submit all of these documents, and then AUT will find you a professor. If we can't find you a professor, we will say that we don't have any professor to help you. Now, you don't have to find a professor yourself. I think AUT and Victoria Wellington are the only two universities in New Zealand that help you find a professor.
Mm.
Others university, you have to find a professor first. Okay, is that clear?
Mm. That's really good because it is one of the concern that students they worry most when they think about finding a supervisor. So that could be very headache, and they don't know how to um, like communicate with the supervisor to discuss their thesis. So at AUT, so they can help you out for finding a supervisor, suitable supervisor. So we move to the next question. Um, what programs to study to be eligible for an extra year post-study work visa?
No, normally I'm not supposed to answer these questions, but basically all of the degrees, what we call a professional degree that require registrations. So at AUT, there will be teaching programs. So if you register as a teacher, whether it's early childhood, primary or secondary, once you registrations and gains that teaching license, then you get an extra year. The health science program as well require you registration. So whether you register as a nurse, register as a physiotherapist, you will get an extra year post-study work visa. Now, I can tell you the policy. This needs to be consulted by a licensed immigration advisor to go further detail. That's all I can answer you.
Yes. Yes, that's really important to seek advice from a licensed agents, either in New Zealand or in your countries, because it's illegal. It's legal. Or if you are not so sure that what programs or what major that your student should choose, so just let Yes Education know so we can have a look at their documents and can suggest some suitable options for their students. All right. So we move to the next one. Is it easy to find jobs in Auckland, part-time or full-time? Also, is there any opportunity to stay back to get residency visa to live long term?
Yeah. Can I ask which country is that agency from? And I'm gonna ask you one question. Like, if you live in Vietnam, for example, if you live in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, like, is it easy to get a job in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City? And how do you define easy? If you're good at something, it's gonna be easy. Like for me, very easy for me to find a new job. But again, how do you define easy? If you're good at something, that's gonna be easy. If you're not good at something, it's not gonna be easy.
Yes.
In a country or in a city with 10 millions people, or in a country with 100 millions people like Vietnam, if you can't find a job, then what do you expect from a country with only 5 million people? That's the questions asking yourself. So I would say that instead of focusing on the job opportunities, just focusing on yourself. If you develop yourself to be a better person, be a better workers, you learning or acquiring new skills and new knowledge, it improving your chance of getting a jobs. So whether the job market is good or not, okay? And jobs is also depending on the kind of jobs that you're working in. So if you're doing like a computer science or a software developers, read the news, right? Oracle laid off 30,000 employees in the US just in the first quarter of 2026. Meta, the owner of Facebook, they lay off like 11,000 employees last year. Amazon laid off 40,000 employers last year. So computer science is not going to work nowadays. Everyone's talking about AI. It's already at the downhill of the things already.
Yeah.
So don't chase the demand, right? So right now I can say that teachers are easy to get a job because it's in high demand. Engineers always in the long-term shortlist. Health science also always in the long-term shortlist. But that's what I say now. Now, if you study in another year, I don't know, next year we're going to have a plentiful of teachers because we've been teaching a lots of teachers nowadays. So I don't know what's happening next year. Okay, I can share with you now. So yeah, depending on the field, depending on and then just tell your student to focus on themselves. Okay, acquiring new skills, new knowledge every day, and that helps. Is there opportunity to stay back and get residency? Yes, definitely. Looking at the policy from Immigration New Zealand, looking at skilled migrant category, I can't go details into this. I'm not allowed to by law. So the Immigration New Zealand asked us not to give any consultation or advice on the immigration issue. So we are not allowed to. But lots of informations are public on the Immigration New Zealand website, where you can go there and read about SMC, which is skilled migrant category, and that's all I can say.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I believe that Mr. Herb is used to study and live in New Zealand for many years, so he can answer these questions very correctly. However, I also want to add on because I traveled to New Zealand a few times and I can see that Auckland is a big city and it's like Ho Chi Minh City or the big city in your country. So job opportunity is really high and it's not very hard to find either part-time or full-time job. So no need to worry too much about that. However, it also depends on your skills, your abilities, or your self-confidence. And or if you have time, so you can search Google and type SEEK, SEEK.com. So it is the New Zealand's #1 employment career and recruitment site. And there you can see a lot of jobs opportunity. They post it there every day, and the majority, they're from Auckland. They're from a very big city. So if your student is studying in Auckland, so should be confident regarding the job opportunities.
Yeah, thanks, Hương, for that. To add on, other students studying at other university outside of Auckland, they still go to Auckland to find jobs after they graduate. And if you can't find a job in Auckland, I don't think you can find any jobs outside anywhere else in New Zealand. And the advantage of studying in Auckland is that while you're studying, you already make connections. You're already in the search for jobs. So that's a much better advantage comparing to other students who lived and study outside of Auckland.
All right, all clear. Thank you, Mr. Herb. So we move to the next one. Hi, I want to ask, can teaching programs package with English program?
The answer is obviously no. You need an IELTS 7 with no bands below 7 to get in. There's no alternative. The same for health science program. Nursing, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, you have to take the IELTS before you can get in. Okay.
Yes. All right. Now we move to the final questions. I never submit visa New Zealand application. So can you tell me overall about visa application, please?
The same happened to me. I never submit a student visa application, so I'll leave that question to Yes Education to answer.
Yeah. Actually, it's not very complicated. If you used to submit Australian visa application in the past, so I believe that it's easier and simpler. So just go to the site of the New Zealand government, New Zealand New Zealand. It belongs to the New Zealand government. I will share with you the site later, and then follow all the steps, fill up all the required questions, and upload the documents, the required documents. And also, you need to ask your student to have a health check first. Normally, they require general health check and X-ray for student visa. And also, they require collect biometric as well, like Australia. However, please remember that student when submitting student visa application, so they need to pay tuition fee at least 1 year first. Not like Australia, so they need to pay, for example, 1 term or 1 semester. But New Zealand student, they need to prepare one year of tuition fee first. It is highly recommended, even it is not compulsory. However, if you want your student visa to be processed quicker, so I highly recommend your student need to pay tuition fee first. Otherwise, if your students they don't have enough time to prepare for tuition fee payment, so they can submit student visa, and then when they have the requirements from the consulate to submit the evidence of tuition fee payment, so you can submit it later. But indeed, we still recommend students to pay a tuition fee first for at least 1 year. Yeah. But to summary, so just submit application to get an offer letter first, and then regarding the visa application, and if you get stuck for any steps, so just let Yes Education know, and then we will have a look and we can support in our ability. All right. I hope that this answer will be clear with you. I think everything is clear so far, so no more questions. So we will wrap up the webinar now. And for sure, I will share with you the file that Mr. Herb presented before. And thank you, Mr. Herb, and all of our agent partners here for spending your time with us. Please keep in touch, and I hope to see you soon in our next webinar trainings.
Thank you, Hương. Thank you, Yes Education. Thank you, everyone who attending today's sessions. I actually have a shared folders on Google Drive. I'll share with Hương, and it's actually including all of the videos, marketing materials, and stuff you can access to use freely. Okay.
Thank you, and have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye now.